Welcome back, Zara here again, for another fabulous episode of Style Drops. Today let's talk about rebuilding your space after a loss, reclaiming what's yours, and designing for the life you want to live now, and how you wish to move forward. But first, a quick thanks and reminder to please subscribe and hype this channel. This video will be filled with possibilities and inspiration to live and style your life with purpose. Style Drops is not a channel that leans heavy on instructional videos, such as, "This is the right way to style your pillows." There are plenty of channels already doing that on the repeat. This channel is more about Gail's POV on topics in design, such as why something is or isn't working within the interior design field, to help you break repeating patterns. Style Drops is all about decoding how to express yourself within the space, versus just duplicating a style and a look of a room. Gail's role here on this channel is centered around the gap between your intention and your execution. For example, when difficult moments happen after a significant loss, such as a death, divorce, or even just the end of an era within our lives, welcomed or unwelcomed, that's when major life pivots need to occur. So when life goes left, when you thought you were going right and now you and your space feel disconnected, like you're a visitor in your own home. Or perhaps your space was created in a different era of your life, where it was more of a compromise, and that styling no longer feels right to you. So when everything just seems wrong, not because it's ugly or poorly designed, but because change is occurring all around you, and that version of you is no longer in play, that's when you know that you need a fresh start. That sectional that you really didn't want to begin with but someone else insisted on it, is now a giant issue in your space. Or how about that color palette that you both agreed on because it was safe, it now appears cold and out of place. Or that artwork, that was also their taste, and not yours, that needs to go too. These are all major contributors to accelerating your discomfort within your space. Because this moment right now is all about what happens next. It's about the radical, uncomfortable, sometimes painful work needed in rebuilding your space for the person you are right now. Not who you were 10 years ago. It's about making design decisions that serve who you are today. Let this be your needed hot take for your starting over moment. Your chance to design a space on your own terms, perhaps for the first time in possibly decades. So let's discuss how to actually do it, without the platitudes about new beginnings and fresh starts that people offer when they don't know what else to say. Fresh start truth number 1. It's okay to feel uncomfortable with the space right now. As you're well aware, you're supposed to love your space, because that is your sanctuary and your refuge from the world. And right now it feels more like a museum or a chapter that is closing. Every object is a reminder of what was. So go ahead and dislike it. These are real emotions that you encounter on the daily. This is not failure. This is not ingratitude or selfishness or any of the things people might suggest when you say, "I can't stand being in my own home anymore." This is an accurate perception. This space is now your past, and that energy has shifted, and your space is no longer resonating with your new desires. So start there. With the honesty and acknowledgement that this space, as it currently exists, is no longer serving you. It's serving a memory of what was, not of a desired imagined future. Fresh start truth number 2. You don't have to keep anything if you're involved in a divorce, or healing from a death, or in a major life shift. There can be tremendous pressure, from well-meaning friends, from family, or even from your own sense of guilt or loyalty, to keep things. To preserve the space as it was. To maintain objects because they were ours, or because letting them go feels like betrayal, or because changing things feels too final. Perhaps even a waste of money. Here's what nobody tells you. You can get rid of all of it. Those objects hold energies of the past. You are not required to live in a shrine, nor should you ever maintain a space frozen in time as tribute to what was. You are not required to keep objects out of guilt or obligation, or the fear of what people will think. You're allowed to start over. Completely. If that's what you need, but most of all, want. So sell that sectional, and buy that new sofa you actually wanted to begin with. Repaint the walls the color you always preferred. Rearrange everything to serve your desires, not the desires of others. Get rid of the things that hurt too much to look at, and keep only what serves the life you're building now. This isn't erasing the past. This is refusing to live in it. For possibly decades, every design decision that was created in your space has been filtered through a question. What do we want? We. Plural. The unit you formed together. The compromised, negotiated, consensus-driven we. There is a new question now. And it's harder than it sounds. What do I want? Nor should it be about what's safe or expected or easy to explain to others. What do you actually want the story of your space to look like? To feel like? And how should it support you in your daily life? This is where most people get stuck. They've forgotten what they want independent of anyone else's input. They don't know their own taste anymore because it's been compromised for so long. What colors make you feel calm or energized? What furniture style do you desire? What objects bring you joy? This is not a quick process. This is excavation. This is peeling back years of compromise to find what's actually yours underneath. But it's the only way to create a space that feels like home, instead of just another holding pattern. Here's what the actual rebuilding looks like. Start with one room. Not the whole house. One room. Probably not the bedroom. That's too loaded. Maybe the living room. Maybe a corner of a room. Somewhere you can experiment, without it feeling like you're dismantling everything at once. Ask, how do I actually use this space now? Not how you used it together. How you use it alone. Do you eat dinner on the sofa now? Then stop maintaining the dining table like someone's coming to dinner. Do you read in bed instead of watching TV? Then rearrange that space accordingly. Do you need a workspace because you're working from home now? Create it. Design for your real patterns, not your imagined or remembered ones. Remove anything that actively hurts to look at. This isn't about erasing memories. This is about not being ambushed by grief or resentment or loss every time you walk through your own home. If an object triggers you, it can leave. Put it in storage if you're not ready to let it go permanently. Give it to family if that feels right. Donate it. Sell it. Just remove it from your daily visual field. Replace one thing with something that's entirely yours. One piece of furniture in the style you actually like. One paint color you never would have chosen together. One object that represents your taste, not compromise. Make one decision that's 100% yours, and live with it. See how it feels. The space is yours now. Your decisions don't need to be justified to anyone. When you hear advice like, don't make any major changes for at least a year, this advice comes from people who aren't living in a space that reminds them of loss every single day. If the space is making you miserable, change it. But staying miserable out of some arbitrary timeline helps no one. You're not erasing, you're moving forward. There is no correct pace for rebuilding your life. Fast, slow, all at once, incrementally. Whatever keeps you functional and moving forward is the right pace. Ignore all of it. This is your space, your life, your terms. There is something deeply, quietly liberating about designing a space entirely for yourself after years, possibly decades, of compromise. The color you always wanted but they hated? You can paint the whole room that color now. The furniture arrangement that works for your patterns but would have driven them crazy. Arrange it that way. The objects you love that they found weird or ugly or impractical? Display them prominently now. For possibly the first time in your adult life, your space can be exactly what you want it to be. Not what's expected. Not what's appropriate for a person in your demographic. Not what guests will approve of. Not what a partner prefers. Not what looks good to other people. Just yours. Completely unapologetically, selfishly yours. And if that feels uncomfortable, if making decisions solely for yourself feels foreign or wrong or indulgent, that's information. That tells you how long you've been living in compromise. How long your preferences have been filtered through someone else's needs. You get to reclaim that now. It might be bolder than you thought you'd go. Or quieter. Or stranger. Or more traditional. Or completely different from anything you would have chosen when you were part of a we. That's the point. The goal is to create a space where you can wake up every morning and not feel ambushed by loss. Where the furniture serves your patterns. Where the objects around you bring comfort or joy or function instead of grief or obligation or resentment. Where you can sit on your sofa, the one you chose for yourself, and feel like you're home. Not in the home you used to have. Not in the home you wish you still had. In the home you're building. Now. For yourself, you get to decide what that looks like. Not what it should look like. Not what other people think it should look like. What it actually looks like when you design for your real life instead of your remembered one. And if that means getting rid of everything and starting fresh, do it. If it means keeping some things and changing others, do that. If it means making one small change a week until the space slowly transforms into something that feels like yours, that's fine too. The only wrong choice is staying in a space that doesn't serve you because you're afraid of what change means. Make it exactly what you want, on your own terms. For the life you're actually living, you've earned that. Welcome to the next chapter of your life. And until next time, my stylistas, please, like, hype and subscribe.